Time now for Media Watch, and I'm joined now by James Creedon. James, we were talking about this over the last few days.
That's right.
That Facebook has been rolling out this sort of optional new format called Timeline. It started doing it last year, but from Wednesday of this week, it's been made permanent for everybody. And not everybody is happy about it, are they?
That's right. I'll give a little demonstration first, Annette, on using my own Facebook page. So if we'll just check out the computer, what people are seeing in the past week, those who have chosen not to opt for this timeline function, is that it's kind of being imposed on you anyway, right? So what Timeline is, this is just to look at the older format of Facebook here, where, you know, you just put up a post and they came up one after the other, sort of chronologically down through your kind of history, right? And here now what you have is something which allows others who come onto your page, or your friends who come onto your page, to just click back to, say, 2008. So there you go, and you have posts that I put up back in 2008, or you can check 2009 to 2012, etc., etc. And it's a way of facilitating navigation through people's Facebook history, and that for many is somewhat annoying, because 5 years ago you might have put up posts that today you would rather not share with the world. And so many people are saying that Facebook have failed to provide an option whereby posts previous to a certain point, say 2010, are made private. You just don't have that option. So what they did is they gave people a 7-day time space in which they could edit, you know, down through those old posts or delete old posts, etc., in order to prepare the timeline for its unveiling this Wednesday. Now, I think it depends on the region of the world you're in. For some, it was the 17th of August. So a lot of discontent online. Let's take a look at some actual Facebook pages that have been set up to protest against this. You have one called I Hate Timeline. So I think the sentiment there pretty clear. And lots of people saying August 17th seems to be the force everyone to move to Timeline Day. How about August 17th and 18th be boycott Facebook days? Now, interestingly, I saw on this page here, this is actually the Timeline Facebook page with 234,000 people who have liked it. But actually, if you scroll down through it, I found that it was actually being used to complain about it quite a lot. Again, another person here, Eric Peters, saying, let's make August 24th the official delete my Facebook account day. Maybe when they lose a couple of million users, they'll figure it out. So I think the key point being they're not allowing users the option of holding on to an older, more traditional format, which was less, I suppose, which boxed you in less. It was less formatted. It's being imposed upon you. And actually one article that I spotted online about this on Haaretz, the tyranny of Facebook's timeline. Now, what he points out is what I just said as well about the privacy issue, but also that you're forced to kind of pick life events. So everything is classified under life events, say birth, graduation, when you bought your first car, marriage, etc. So they're forcing you into this kind of linear narrative, when actually, according to this columnist, Netta Alexander, you know, he preferred the sort of randomly shared articles, of the disorganization of the previous format. Here they're forcing you to this kind of linear style, or this narrative, which a lot of people don't want to be boxed into.
It's actually a she, Netta.
All right, okay. Apologies to Netta.
There is one bit of good news for those who do worry about privacy on Facebook, and the fact is that they have now finally agreed to delete those photos that you wanted to get rid of, because there was some confusion about those photos, that they weren't actually deleted, even though you thought they had been.
That's right. Basically, for the last 3 years, there's been a lot of lobbying to get Facebook. When you delete a photo on your Facebook profile, it remained on the Facebook servers. So if you had the direct link for that photo, you could still find it online. So the photo actually wasn't deleted, and it was still, you could still find it maybe in Google Images and stuff like that. They have finally deleted it. Let's take a look at this sort of facetious look at it on the Le Point website. Facebook deletes photos that have been deleted, finally deletes photos that have been deleted. And they go on to say, after 3 years of hard labour, the engineers at the social network have discovered how to delete files from their servers. And the group of Mark Zuckerberg's group announced on Friday that the bug which prevented them from deleting these photos has been resolved. So they're obviously being quite tongue-in-cheek there, saying it shouldn't be that difficult. But bearing in mind, Facebook has something like 900 billion photos stocked on its servers, so I suppose it can't be easy to change from one way of doing things to another that easily.
Now, from one social network to another, and this time, yet again, what is it about French politicians and privacy?
Right.
One would assume if you tweet something that other people, apart from those who you want to see it, will inevitably read it.
Right. Well, you see, that there is a certain amount of speculation here that maybe these are accidentally on purpose kind of public tweets. I'll show you what happened on Saturday night, and it got the French media quite titillated, and I thought it was very funny. This guy is called Lionel Lucas. He is a vice president of a local council in Alpes-Maritimes for the UMP party. Here's what he tweeted. "I will leave you go home and get yourself ready. I love you." Right? So who knows what that was referring to, right? But in any case, it was meant, he quickly rectified that and said, "Oh, sorry, this is a little lesson in humility. That was meant to be an SMS, a text message." Now, I don't think anyone who uses Twitter on their mobile phone would confuse it with the text message function. I really, not sure about that.
He doesn't look that young, though, does he? So maybe he's just trying to prove that he still has it.
Well, I think that's the speculation, in fact. And here on the Huffington Post, the French version, they're saying, "Oh, a DM fail. That's a direct message fail. Twitter does have this option for sending private messages." Now, he claims he intended to send a text message. So, and he says that this was an error. Like the Huffington Post compares it to Eric Besson, another politician who made a similar mistake last year, where, again, he was talking to his lover and he said, I'm going home to bed. Are you coming with me, etc. So some people are saying, is this just a way of getting headlines into papers? Possibly.
Well, they are Frenchmen, after all.
This is true.
Finally, a Tumblr blog for dogs who should be ashamed of themselves.
All right, I have to say, I found this very funny. It's called Dog Shaming. Check it out. A lot of the photos probably best not shown on television. Dogshaming.tumblr.com. The whole idea is your dogs often do things they shouldn't do, like eating rugs, carpets, when no one is at home. And here is a way to publicly shame them. And BuzzFeed have lifted out some of the photos that are, I suppose, most worthy of sharing. I think peeing on the broom is fun, says this guy. And there are some of the ones that are more shareable. It involves lots of... Yeah.
I think we'll leave it at that one.
Right.
Thank you very much, James Creedon. That's James Creedon with Media Watch. And time now for Web News, which looks at online reaction from China to the news that the wife of a disgraced politician is facing life imprisonment for the murder of a British businessman. Stay with us here on France 24.